Love is a four-letter word. I swear. So many people are thrown off by the simple question of what is love. And if you go across the world, everybody uses the word love, but how well do we actually know it? How well do we completely understand what is love? If you haven't looked at it for yourself, you need to go up to someone that you care about and ask them what is love and watch how their expression becomes and watch how it takes them so long to answer it. Yet we pretend that we know what love is. And I say pretend because I don't believe anybody has a complete answer. I do have a wonderful favorite quote from Maya Angelou that I think gives a great expression of what love is. Love recognizes no barriers, and that is very true. Watch someone who's in love that there is nothing that is going to stand in their way. It jumps hurdles, it leaps fences. Sometimes that's physically that they do that. It penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. That is so very true. Love is one of those superpowers that if we can really embrace it and understand how it's impacting us and how it can change our world, that we can make it a superpower that is very much usable everywhere. I'm going to start off with a few circumstances that I personally think demonstrate incredible love. I'm going to start with my parents, who are 89 and 91. They've been married for 64 years. My mom prides herself on saying that they have never argued in the 64 years. I'm going to honestly say that is very true. I have never heard them argue about anything gigantic or raise their voices or do anything that sometimes you get to see with people that say that they love each other. I have never seen that. Yet they do have an incredible marriage of understanding, of respect, of seeing each other. Whenever they have challenges, they tend to talk about things and find a way to work it out between them. They definitely have had lots of challenges in their lives, from losing their first child, going through a period of war, and having to move from one country to another with five kids, completely different culture, completely different language, having to build all kinds of businesses to take care of their family, losing their daughter to cancer. Those are some of the top things that I could say that they have gone through, but all the daily stuff, seeing them, how they treat each other, and how caring they are towards each other. They never, ever use bad language towards each other or actually towards anybody else. They also look at each other in a way that this is my partner, that is a complete person as they are. They are not looking at each other of how do I change this person. That is some of the things that I've really noticed through their marriage and how well they handle themselves. Now in their 90s, 89 and 91, my dad is going through dementia, and seeing how caring my mom could be in how she responds to some of the things that he will ask multiple times, because that's what he is going through. She gets up in the middle of the night lots of times to check on him, to see how he is. Those are things that nobody is going to teach you to do those things. But when you care about somebody else and when you love them, you look beyond all the little things that a lot of people get annoyed with and attempt to change the other person to fit their checklist into what is love. So if you can really look at your own self and how your relationships are, not just relationships with a partner, but family. How do you treat your family members? How do you treat your coworkers? Are you treating them in a very loving way? That's one way to begin to actually truly change the way we live our lives and impact each other in a much better way. A couple of other things that we can look at right now. The world is going through something that is really rough, this incredible earthquake that has done a ton of damage in Turkey and Syria, with a lot of lives lost, lots of families that have been impacted. But the beautiful thing that is coming out of this is all the loving human beings that have stopped part of their life to show up in these two countries, to contribute their time, to look for survivors, to do whatever they can to help this other human being that needs them right now, without looking at any borders for it to be a barrier. Truly, simply showing up for the pureness of helping somebody else. That is love. All the incredible individuals that have contributed to all the organizations that are stepping up to continue to help, because that's what happens in circumstances that are disastrous. That's where we shine as human beings, to show what genuine love is, what unconditional love is. Those are the things that make us the great beings that we are, and that we can continue to be by doing a little more of that, being a lot more aware of how we show up. The other thing that I am going to share with you is a story that happened back in 2015. It's a little heavy story, but it does have a beautiful love story in it, in the way that the father of this person showed up. His son was a pizza delivery driver at 22. He showed up at someone's house, and unfortunately, he was robbed and killed, and it was by another 22-year-old. The most incredible part about this is the way that the dad showed up in the court, the dad of the person that passed away. He showed up in court to actually console the other family, to actually forgive the young man that took the life of his son, and telling him how sorry he was that his choice is going to cost him so much of his life in a place that he didn't need to be at. He actually was there to really make a difference in this young man's life, and how he forgave himself so that he can turn out to be a better human being. He even told the parents he's so sorry of what they're going through, that this didn't need to occur, that their forgiveness is very important, that he forgives them. His son, he believed, would have forgiven them for what's going on. He even got up and gave this young man a hug, and the young man definitely understood it and was able to share how sorry he was. It doesn't change the circumstance of what occurred, but it gave that family a place to start to heal, to start to move forward, including his own family. That is genuine love. There are so many people that in this world look at circumstances that others are going through, and they take the steps and the opportunity to launch nonprofits. They take the opportunity to start Doctors Across Borders. All those wonderful things are started by individuals that understand what love genuinely is. It's caring for someone else, and not necessarily because you're going to get something back, but for the pure joy of seeing another human being excel in their life. I'm going to end this podcast by sharing what my dad said. What is love, when I asked him? Please enjoy it, and I will see you in the next podcast.
ايه بتصور؟
Baba, what is love? What is love?
محبة.
ايه شنو المحبة؟
ألفة.
شو يعني؟
صداقة.
اها. اي شي تاني؟
في كتير شغلات.
مثل؟
المهمين خليهم.